Hey there again, this is Brother Clinton. Just a little by the way, um, for those of you who are in Christ Jesus, the message in this video is watch and pray. Because as a few minutes ago I just made a video about the Christ Mass Festival and about the drunkenness that comes upon the people and the darkness that has overcome the people of this world because of the deception of Satan and the wine of Babylon, and how the wine of Babylon causes people to become drunken and impaired in judgment, in vision, in speech, in action. And, one of the most effective ways to take advantage of someone is to get them drunk. Look at even David, the king of Israel, who, when he had sinned so grievously with the wife of Uriah, he called Uriah from the battle and tried to get him to go down to his wife so that he could cause him to believe that the child in her womb was his, Uriah's. And he wouldn't go down, and so David even tried getting him drunk to try to get him to go down to his wife, and still he wouldn't go down. But and Uriah was a great warrior, a great man to whom I aspire. But I digress. The best way to deceive someone, to rob someone, to spoil someone, to put someone in a position where you can destroy them and everything that they have, is to get them drunk. And that's what the Christmas season is all about. That's what the Christmas spirit is. The Christmas spirit is Satan. It's the spirit of devils. And it is sent to deceive and make the people drunken. And the people who are called the global elite, whom I lovingly refer to as the global mafia, know this. They are religious people. They worship the devil. Some of them worship the devil on purpose. Others of them on lower levels just partake of their religion the same way that Freemasons do or Mormons do. They're not really religious about it. They just follow it because that's the way of their cult. But whether knowingly or unknowingly, whether willingly or unwillingly, they worship the devil. And they base what they do upon the dates, the religious observances, and the cultish practices of their religion. And it is a known fact that the Federal Reserve Act, which was the initiation of one of the greatest crimes in the history of the earth, the Federal Reserve Act was passed on Christmas Eve in 1913. And the reason it was passed then was because most of the representatives weren't there. They were on vacation with their families, doing what people do on that traditional day, drunken with the wine of Babylon, thinking that they were honoring God, and they weren't, as the rest of the country was. And while the people were drunken with wine, the wine of Babylon, and celebrating their Babylonish festivals, the bankers caused the Federal Reserve Act to be passed without their knowing, without their approval. And 101 years later, nobody has repealed that act. And the Federal Reserve Bank continues to rob the people of the United States of America more and more all the time. And as we come up upon that time of year again this year, let us consider how big that snowball of crime has become. The global mafia that is overtaking the world and creating a North American Union out of Canada, the United States, and Mexico. The crimes that they have committed in broad daylight in the last 12 months are astounding enough. But let us watch and pray as the people of this world are drunken with the wine of Babylon. Let us watch and pray and see what these criminals are going to do over this next Christmas festival, when they're expecting everybody's eyes to be here and there. That's why these Ferguson riots are happening. That's why all kinds of people are being shot by police now, and these riots and protests are happening all over. It's a diversion, it's a distraction, because they don't want you to see what they're doing. Just the other day, a bill, as an example of things that are being done in broad daylight, just the other day there was a bill, again the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act. It was passed through Congress. It's a $585 billion bill. Yes, billion with a B. $585 billion defense bill. And when the Democrats who voted for this bill, who voted in favor of it, were asked if they read it, this is what one said. When asked if he had read the legislation, Representative Jim Moran of Virginia responded, "Of course not. Are you kidding?" Before adding that he did not plan to read the bill before voting on it because I trust the leadership. Okay? There were so many more that were asked, and they just said they didn't read it. The committees have gone over it, they said, but they didn't read it. This bill was 1,600 and something pages long. It was given to them, I think, 36 hours before they were supposed to vote on it. None of them read it. And the reason that they didn't read it was because they didn't care what it said. They were voting yes because that's what they get paid to do. That's what the bankers paid them to do. The bankers develop the bills, and they give it to the senators, and they pay the senators to vote yes on it. The senators don't care what's in it. They don't care about you. They don't work for you. They are the government of the United States of America, a foreign for-profit corporation that is operating on 10 square miles of land between Maryland and Virginia. And I've told you all this before. So I want to keep this video short, but I just want to let you know to watch and pray when this Christmas festival comes again in the next few weeks here, and blindness and darkness is upon the whole world, and drunkenness is upon the people, and the spirit of Christmas has possessed the people of this world, so that they are under the influence of Satan. The mobsters who are behind all this are planning to do something. I don't know what that something is. I have some ideas. I don't know what that something is, but watch and pray, because all this deception doesn't happen by accident. It happens for a reason. It's just like a smoke grenade in the field, a smoke screen. Okay, when your enemy throws up a smoke screen, it didn't happen by accident. He didn't just turn around and go, "Oh, my smoke grenade went off accidentally." No, he threw it to a specific location at a specific time for a specific purpose to keep you from seeing what he didn't want you to see. That's what the Christmas festival is. That's what these Ferguson riots are. That's what all these things are that the governments are throwing up as a diversion, because they all work for Satan, who is the god of this world. 2 Corinthians 4:4. He is the prince of the power of the air. Ephesians chapter 2. Remember this. This is not a game, boys and girls. This is reality. Watch and pray over the next few weeks and see what the Washington, D.C. government is going to do behind the smoke screens of the religious festivals of the heathen. Watch and pray.